Hello there, welcome to the world of Tipsy Kitchen. What? Hosted by an unknown gay man in the middle of the Midwest here in Columbus, Ohio. I know half of you are thinking, when the hell did Winston Churchill deliver a child? And the answer was August of '89. So, and yes, he hit me with a stick after birth. So that's why I look like this. Then the alcohol. So the purpose of my show is to help you plan dishes to get you through a pandemic on a budget. Tonight's episode is going to be nothing but macaroni and cheese and some hot dogs, some wieners, pigs in a blanket. Typical Midwestern cheapo style. I am going to put a twist on it. The pigs are going to be wrapped in a pie crust. What? Who does that? This weirdo. I'm weird. That's the point. So, as always, before I begin the real show, maybe put a shirt on before my titties get splattered in oil. The show is sponsored by alcohol that I cannot show you because of lawyers. So stay tuned. Everything is sloppily edited. Everything is real and raw. You know, like my last weekend. Check it, I didn't go home with anyone. I have two hands that barely even touch me. So let's get into Tipsy Kitchen. Let's get into Tipsy Kitchen. Let's see where this journey goes. Subscribe if you like it. I don't know, this is my first time on YouTube. Do what you want. Let's get going. So here's a breakdown of some of the ingredients you're gonna need tonight. Just some minced garlic, because I'm cheating. For the macaroni and cheese itself, we have some mild cheddar, a block of pepper jack cheese. We have some butter, yes. Some crumbled blue cheese, half a block of Velveeta, holler poverty, right? Heavy whipping cream. Vegetable-wise, to add a little color to the mac and cheese later, we're gonna have some chopped up bell pepper and a red onion to also give us a good flavor. I have the pie crust here thawed out, girthy and ready. And then we have some garden rotini here with a little bit of nutrition. I mean, if you're gonna clog your arteries, then colored pasta should offset that. And then locally sourced wieners here. If you heard that slap, you know it's gonna be a good show. If you cannot find any locally sourced hot dogs at your local store, Grinder and Scruff have some excellent choices. It just needs some heavy sanitation, depending on who provides the meat. And then last but not least, some basic pepper, some salt that I need to fill up, Italian seasoning, and some cayenne pepper. It's gonna be spicy, it's gonna be weird. Let's get going. Also, to make everything consistent tonight, to give you a breakdown, you're only gonna need one big pot to help boil the noodles. You're gonna need a medium-sized skillet to saute the bell pepper as well as the onions, the minced garlic, and butter. And you're gonna need a small saucepan for the cheese mix that we're about to do. And some tin foil for those little piggies in a blanket. What? Oven should be preheated to 375 at this point because we're going to throw those hot dogs in first. They're going to take about a half hour, especially with the pie crust. I mean, I actually don't know how long it's going to really take because I've never put pie crust into a hot dog or around a hot dog. Why do I do this? Oh, right. I'm lonely and I need attention. Please like my show. I'm gonna do some more shots real quick. So unlike my show here, preparation is the most important part of any meal. So right now I am just cutting up the bell pepper and then I'm gonna cut this onion in half and dice that up as well. I am saving one nice little glob of bell pepper to put on top to decorate the mac and cheese, make it look good. So right now, preparation, boom. It's important, people. Wear a condom. Preparation. So let's take a look and see how those onions I just chopped up. I did not top an onion. Do not let that be the headline of the New York Post at all. But let's see how those onions look, okay? So here we go. We have those red onions diced up nicely. I prefer my bell peppers to have a little chunk to them, like me and my sexual partners. But that's none of your business. So here we have the vegetables diced up, chunked up, ready to go. We can set those aside because next we're gonna take these girthy little babies and we're going to put them into the pie crust. We're gonna start twisting them up. We're gonna start adding cheese to them and layers of metacognition and, you know, years of therapy are gonna come out. I don't probably. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do another sippy sip of a seltzer beverage that rhymes with unruly. So some background information for some of you out there while I get this pie crust ready and optimized. Sorry, something cut my arm and that was the knife. So I grew up impoverished, as white people politely like to say. And I started cooking at the age of like 11 or 12 by myself. You know, parents had to work all the time. Started off with like boxed mac and cheese and canned ravioli, soon upgraded to hot dogs. And then over the years, you just dive into it, right? So now I'm doing like pies. I don't do them well. And I'm doing lasagnas and pasta dishes, making dumplings, Chinese dumplings, anything. And I just want to say to all of you before we get heavy into the show, you don't need to go to culinary school to become a great cook. Pro tip for culinary school though, even though I didn't go, they will teach you so many basic skills that a lot of us are lacking. But you can also just explore them on your own in your own kitchen. And that is the real journey. Take that, Tolkien and your ring. So here we have it. We have 4 nice wieners here on an unbaked pie crust. I'm doing 4 just because normally I can only handle like 2 on a good night. But we're gonna give a little slice down the center of the wiener. I need 2 hands for this. So imagine that I'm slicing this hot dog open viscerally. I am sorry. Everyone's watching this right now. But we're gonna give a nice good slice down the middle of the hot dog to split it open. I am gonna put just some slight shredded cheddar in it, as well as some pepper jack cheese into the middle of each of those hot dogs. And boom, here we go. Look at those slits. Ooh. I don't know why I'm not rich already. So next up here, why is everything blurry? There we go. I crumbled up a little bit of that pepper jack cheese. Only took a bite out of some of it. So next we're gonna get these bad boys wrapped up in this pie crust on the tin foil and in the oven for about 30 minutes. So again tonight, everything being on a budget, the most expensive thing I had on this table is the Velveeta cheese at like almost $8 for a whole block. Everything else was well under $5. And when I say well, it was at least maybe like $4.50 or below. So here you can see I'm starting to wrap the wieners into nightmares for some of you. I don't know where this is going, but I love it. So we're gonna get 2 more of these bad boys wrapped up here. It looks like they belong, like, oh, to be honest, it looks like they're going to a brisk later, but we'll see what happens. We'll throw them in some tin foil and I'm just gonna keep drinking, guys. So there we go, 4 nice wieners in the oven at 375 for the next half hour. What will happen? Who knows? Stay tuned. So the next step, while the hot dogs are cooking up in that oven, we are going to start boiling the water for the noodles. And then we're gonna get probably about 2 tablespoons of butter into the saute pan for the vegetables, that bell pepper and the onions and the garlic. Throw the butter in with the garlic, let it saute. Once the butter has melted, once the garlic's a little translucent, throw the onions in, throw the bell peppers in. You'll know everything is done when those onions are translucent as well. Look at my skin tone if you need references to what translucent is. Again, as I said, this show is filmed in front of my dog, Pixel here, who's just the cutest little monster in the world. And she's following me because I have cheese. So here I am with a mouthful of cheese and some cubed up Velveeta and some cubed up pepper jack that I did not eat yet. So really, I love using Velveeta because not only is it like super cheap for like a huge ass block of cheese, it melts so nicely. So many of you people don't get it. Like it melts so nicely. So if you're new to the world of Velveeta, get it. Use it for any dip. Use it for your mac and cheese. Use it for your sexcapades. I don't care. Just use it. So here we have the 2 tablespoons of butter sauteed down with probably about half a clove of garlic already minced in there. Have water getting ready to boil soon. When the water starts to reach temperature, you know, over the, 212 degrees Fahrenheit for boiling, we'll get this pot ready here for the beautiful cheese sauce. Boom. Stay tuned. So I love using heavy cream when it comes to making mac and cheese instead of just like a flour base or, you know, just whole milk or skim milk. It gives it richness. It makes it thick. It makes it delicious. So if you have to substitute the heavy cream, go for a substitute like nut milk or substitute milk in general that's thicker. Only advice I can give you. Born and raised in Southern Ohio, I love my milks, man. So these veggies are getting sauteed to perfection. Beautiful. Water is almost boiling. Sorry, my stove is disgusting, but I cook a lot. And to be honest, I forgot to clean it before filming the show. So next we're going to put a cup of heavy cream into the base of this saucepan and get it up to like a low medium heat. You don't want it to necessarily boil. You want it to essentially have a slight film that builds up on the surface of it. And then that's when you know that you're gonna start whisking in your cheese. Trust and believe me. I'm adorable, please trust and believe me. Plus I'm fat, so I think I know what I'm doing. Right? Maybe? Film, don't boil, yada yada yada. Sorry, drink me there. So, don't know what I was going to do in this segment, and you know what? I'm not deleting it at all. It could be a part of the rustic charm that I am trying to induce. Endure? I don't know. If there are any recipes you'd like to see me make drunkenly, shout out. Give me a shout out. I'll do it. You can find me on Instagram at Tipsy_kitchen2020. There you can see some of my photos and hashtags of, you know, minor bits of the recipe there, as well as photos of my dog, me with my nipples out, and probably bulge photos from my favorite celebrities. Maybe it's my first time on Instagram too, but might keep that tame. My mom is watching here. Although we have the same taste in, you know, celebrity bulges, so. But yes, if there is anything you would like to see me make after tonight's episode, let a boy know. I might do it. Might give you a shout out. I'm stupid. So if you're somehow able to tell, there is a slight film here I'm using my cell phone. How are people supposed to tell, Daniel? I don't know, bitch. I'm just trying to film a show. Anyways, this whole cream has a slight film on top. We're gonna start adding in that block cheese. As much as I despise using a heavy metal whisk on a pan, as it causes some abrasions, contusions, and slices and dices to the metal coating. It's the best option to make sure a thick mix gets stirred up properly. So let's add the cheese and see what happens. The vegetables are sauteed to perfection, just like many of my sunburnt Instagram photos. What? Kidding, I don't have many photos on Instagram yet. So I turned the heat off, moved them to a different burner. You don't want them to overcook, so we'll just let them rest for now. The noodles are boiling up. Let them boil for probably a good 10 minutes and then we'll drain them. The cheese, it is getting sexy. Can I just tell you? Once the cheese is melted down, we're gonna add spices to the cheese mixture here. And to be honest, it's fucking sexy. As you can see here, a lot of the cheese has melted down. The Velveeta and the cheddar that I added will melt down so smoothly. The pepper jack chunks are going to take longer, so don't be discouraged if it's lumpy. Lumpy things still need some love too, so give it some time and it'll slowly work itself out. The noodles, we're about to take those things off. Look at all those grease splatters. This is why you're single, Daniel. I know, Daniel, thank you. Boom, that cheese is melted down perfectly. Do you know how badly I want to stick my tongue into that? Look at that. So now we're gonna add the salt, the pepper, the cayenne, and the Italian seasoning into that. Probably just a few teaspoons of each to really give this mixture a good flavor. And then we're gonna add the beautiful pasta noodles to this casserole dish. We're gonna put the cheese on top of it. We're gonna mix in some of those sauteed vegetables there. And then with 8 minutes left for the hot dogs, we'll put the mac and cheese in there as well, crumbled on top with blue cheese to give it a good zip zap. Pop, pop, pop. I scripted this, people. That's the worst part. So here we have the noodles, vegetables on the bottom there. I will fold everything together here. The beautiful cheese sauce with all those beautiful spices. Well, that's staying in because I'm not editing this drunk. So, it's about to get sexy. Go ahead and pour in that cheese. Do you understand how arousing this is to anyone in the world? Queso, fromage, cheese. I don't know, did the Italians say fromage? Probably, maybe? I don't know. But look at this. Look at this. And I did this drunk. Anyone could do this. A toddler watching this show could easily do this. So let's mix this together and get it in an oven. How about that? I'll do more shots. Okay, freaks, I have folded in everything. I put a layer of delicious blue cheese on top of the mac and cheese mix. I put that beautifully cut bell pepper in the center. Hot dogs only have 33 seconds left, so we'll take the hot dogs out, let them rest for just a couple moments to see if the pie crust around them is done. If not, we'll just throw them back in the oven with the mac and cheese for another 20 to 30 minutes until it's crusty the way you like it. I'm sweating. Don't gotta work out when you're in the kitchen just sweating. Yeah, my doctor does not say that, so probably shouldn't. So stay tuned, let's see where this goes. So put in that delicious mixture you just had for about 20 minutes at 375. See if we can get the blue cheese to melt down a little bit and then the top to crust up just a tad. And then boom. Look how weird these things turned out. I love them so much, like they were one of my own children. Don't be upset, I love you too. So if you're enjoying this very first episode of Tipsy Kitchen, Brought to you by my curly, beautiful locks of hair. Subscribe, do things, drink. For anyone that just watched that, I just had a bunch of Grey Goose splash me in the face. Not even a warning. Please warn me. So, so we're just waiting for mac and cheese to bake up a little bit. My monstrosity of a hot dog in creation. They're done. They're ready to be eaten, but we'll get everything plated together. So yeah. Oh, Daniel. Oh, good question. Why are you doing this? Well, it has been almost a year since I have been touched affectionately, so I am reaching out to you guys to give me the attention that I am looking for. Sure, I can go to a bar, but it's like, what, and then get COVID? And then have to get something shoved up my nostril, not down my throat? No, thank you. Now, if they did the swabs, like, just to the back of your throat, not finishing that sentence, because again, my mom is watching this. So, Pixel, what do you think of Daddy's first YouTube episode? Yeah? Yeah? Just because I'm holding a treat up? Yep, there we go. For all of those single homosexual men out there watching this, thirsting with anticipation, again, I live in Ohio. I have blonde hair. I am 5'6", some pounds. Single. A Virgo, if that matters to you. But people say a Leo cusp just because of my birthday. I cook. I drink and do Lady Gaga choreography alone many a nights. So yeah, if you're into me, let me know. Or not. Hell, women, if you're into me, let me know. Because right now, Papa needs some kisses. Check it. I don't need kisses. This is just the part of my show where I'm filling time while the mac and cheese bakes in the oven. I must say, I'm killing it. You all love me so much. So for me, this is like the best looking the mac and cheese is. Some of y'all, if you want it crispier, keep it in the oven for a little longer. But it is bubbling, it is melted, it is delectable, it's delightful. It is ready for me to eat. So here we have it. We have a plated mac and cheese combination with melted blue cheese on top, Velveeta cheese, cheddar cheese, pepper jack cheese, and a butchered hot dog that I just tried to rip apart. So what makes the hot dog really good is that the pie crust, which is basically just flour and butter and salt mixed together, it's still super buttery and it's flaky and it's crisp and it's delightful. Oh my god. So everything looks delicious, everything tastes delicious. Again, I am single, please date me. And, you know, stay tuned for episode 2 of Tipsy Kitchen. Again, these episodes are gonna be monstrosities that come through my mind when I'm bored. Homemade recipes that actually look like stuff, unlike those hot dogs. And just a bunch of drunk shenanigans for this 30-something-year-old man. Ugh, 30-something. Gross. Anyways, stay tuned. Thank you for watching Tipsy Kitchen. Salud, prost, chin chin, cheers. All of it. Stay weird, stay tipsy. Get through this pandemic with a loved one. And if you don't have a loved one nearby, that is why you have 2 hands. And if you don't have 2 hands, or you use prosthesis, you know, get weird and creative. Just keep yourself pleased. stay weird.